Hi, and welcome to your favorite podcast of the Temple Channel League, the video capsule recaps of your Mets. I must say that I never anticipated that the lost and found director would create such a polemic environment, uh, but I had a duty to serve to this league, and this channel has been the official channel for the election to the extent that I opened that impeachment poll. So, full transparency, I'm just going to present the numbers here and then a recommended approach from this humble channel. So, the impeachment results over here are removing or requesting for the removal of the current lost and found director, Scott Lawrence. 414 votes. So, whether this election was also hijacked or we have way too many people watching it. I'm going to stay with the latter. I'm just going to say that people are just loving to watch this show. Hence, officially, Scott Lauren has been removed because that's the voice of the people. I can only make a recommendation. My recommendation will be that no other than Dan Neal should be the new Lost and Found director. So, if you like this, put thumbs up into this video. If I get more than 3 thumbs up, I'm gonna consider that as a confirmation from all the followers in here that Dan Mill is your new Lost and Found director. Speaking of someone that doesn't need to be impeached, my good friend Carlos Peluca TV, who is playing on the cross the aisle with the other team from New York, was kindly enough to help out to record one of the coolest interviews that I have done so far, the first of its kind, having two guesses at the same time. And that's what you're going to see such a good level of quality in that interview. An interview that had my former teammate Barry Epstein, but also current New York Yankees captain Brian Stroll, who was gentle enough to give me this ball over here. I'll read it to you because it might be unlegible here. To a great Shalom Med and a better guy, we will miss you. Good luck and be well. Brian Stroll and the Yankees. Thank you very much, Brian. Truly appreciate the gesture as well as you taking the time having the interview with me properly recorded by Peluca TV. We even have some bloopers, which I'm going to be posting at the end of this episode so you can enjoy some of the things that transpired before the interview.
You
So,
supposed to
We
talk
don't
about
have
it?
any
Are you gonna
questions. It's
ask?
all improvised. Yep.
Okay.
Well,
How
very
long do
good.
you usually go for? Like 5 minutes?
5 to 7 minutes for
Perfect.
one, so probably 10.
Okay. What are we supposed to talk about? The league or just what?
I run the show, right?
Oh, so
You
you
follow my lead. Follow my lead.
Oh, you got it.
Whatever Jimmy Kimmel says.
Bah.
Hi, and welcome to week 8 of the 2026 spring season. Today, I have the pleasure to do the first of its kind, a dual interview with Brian Stroll and Barry Epstein. Welcome, guys.
Glad to be here. Good to be here, Leo.
So I like to start interviews by asking you, or the person that I'm interviewing, what this league represents to you. What makes you to wake up early to come to play every single Sunday? So Brian, tell me what is this?
Well, I tell you, Leo, I'm glad you asked that because today's a perfect day. I've had some stress with my mother, with my family, and she was in ICU yesterday. And to come out here, this is a community, it's a brotherhood. The camaraderie is so awesome that out here I could talk to people about my family, my life. They tell me about their life. It's just an extended family of great guys, great people. And at 69 years old, I think that I never want to retire and miss this. I will be like Skipper Bob and keep going until I can't. It is a beautiful thing, and I don't know how else to describe it, but you guys are like my brothers.
Yeah. How about you, Barry?
I've been to sleep for about 35 years, and it's a blast for two things. One, it gets your competitiveness going. I like to compete, and this gives you the opportunity for doubleheaders every Sunday. I mean, I go to the batting cages before I come out here. I care about trying to do well to help the team, but also it's the camaraderie. It's the best group of people that you can be with. All you have to do is film the post-game handshake line, and you'll see the way people care about each other. And you're on a different team every year, so you're always meeting new people. It's a blast.
Good. Let me stick with you, Barry. I know how deep savvy you are when it comes to stats, right? So tell me about what do you do when you're not coaching when it comes to analyze our team? I want to everyone watching this episode to see how into the details these guys goes when it comes to analyzing the opponents.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, but
No, that's fine.
no, I mean, it's the same thing because I used to be the coach. So you get to see you get to learn in this league really quickly where these people hit, because and so you know how to adjust your defenses. You know how to pitch to them. You get to learn, especially for the sluggers and mostly for the sluggers, the guys that can hit low and away or can hit high or pop up high and inside. There's a real structure to figuring out how to get past those guys and how to field the ones, especially the ones hit opposite field lines.
And how successful have you been with those? I mean, how many championships have you won with that?
None in the spring and one in the fall.
So let me ask you someone that actually won it. Tell me what has worked for you to win a championship, right?
Well, I would say the one spring championship we won with the Pirates, we were having a really not so good year, and then at some point we got it together, and we won, I think, 14 out of the next 15 games, including the playoffs. All of a sudden, we just gelled, and we came together, and we didn't give up, and we went on. We had to win like a doubleheader to get into the playoffs. We did, and we only lost one playoff game, and we swept, and it was just a great streak to go forth and bring a championship for Skipper Bob, his seventh, and that meant the world to us. It took the weight off of my sons and my shoulders to finally get the seventh championship for Skipper Bob, because that guy's the most competitive guy in the league, and he wants to win championships every year.
Of course. So I have a question to you. When I had my first season as a Mets and I started to create that atmosphere of playing with the Mets, you were the only guy in the league that actually knew about the sons of the Mets. Can you tell us what was your childhood and what the Mets represented to you when you were younger?
Okay, I was born in 1957. The Dodgers and Giants I'm from Brooklyn. The Dodgers and Giants just left New York, so it was just the Yankees. My dad was a big Yankee fan. He was a DiMaggio guy. So the Mets didn't come into existence till 62, so I was 5. And they were terrible. They stunk. Until Tom Seaver came, was a rookie and came into the league. All of a sudden, with Gil Hodges, Tom Seaver, Jerry Koosman, the Miracle Mets, I was 12 years old. That was my wheelhouse. I gave up rooting for the Yankees. I became a true Met fan. I could tell you every guy on the team, all this stuff. So I became a Met fan. Seaver was my guy. And you're number 41.
Yep.
I know, you're number 41. And if I was a Met, I'd be number 41. But so that's the impetus. And then I moved here in 72. But, you still follow the Mets. Now I just follow really baseball. And I'm still on the Mets fan page. And, oh, man, they're just having a hard time this year. And then with the Subway Series, it's important. I have the Statue of Liberty in my bag. So if I sweep today, somebody will take home the Statue of Liberty for the Subway Series. I think it's so sweet, so important. And that's the impetus of me being a big Met fan growing up.
Good. So let me go to being a Met. You have been a Met. You had the fortune of me drafting you.
I was a
and I have drafted you also in other season as well. So
right.
This is going to be a little bit personal. Tell me what do you like and what you don't like about me being a coach.
I liked everything about it. I mean, I like the way
We didn't plan for this.
you manipulate the lineup in a good way weekly based on
Lineup, not stats, right? Let's make sure.
We used to have we had a guy one time in the league that I think he listed a player that went 6 for 5 when we won double, and I think he wasn't a coach for much longer. But Leo does not do that, and so no. But you change the stats based on your feel and the way you think how players are. There are guys that can't hit in the 4th spot. They can hit the 9th spot, but they can't hit the 4th spot because it gets to them mentally, and you figure that out and you adjust for that. And so that's the great part of doing it is you always have good ideas on how to do your team.
Well, wait. Let me also say that so much of a Met fan, I will tell you, besides God Bless America and Take Me Out to the Ball Game, the song that my kids learned as kids so fast was Meet the Mets. Meet the Mets, greet the Mets, step right up and meet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life. I mean, my grandkids know that song. My kids know that song. That was one of the first songs they ever knew.
Yep. When I put that in that you were one of the few that actually knew that song.
Sure.
We're coming to the end of it. Well, you know that this is going to be my last season, so I'm trying to make this as a lasting memory to it. So, any final words that you can tell to people watching this episode and just to keep growing this amazing league?
Well, Leo, I mean, you've been a blessing to the league. The way you've taken responsibility and camaraderie and just doing what you do is great, and it helps the league. And we're going to miss you dearly.
Same.
It's very sad. It's sad to see people go and leave, but it seems like they leave a piece of them here on Sunday mornings. Yeah, so sure. I appreciate you doing all the things you do.
And
Are you going to miss me?
yes, because of Leo, I've gotten to learn a lot more through studying of the Venezuelan professional leagues, and I've been on what now, 3 different teams, I think.
Yes, yep.
Right, which the
Two, right? The Leones and the Tiburones, right?
there was the third one, but I don't really remember. And so, and we see which of the players went on to the major leagues from that. So we had discussion on that. So I really felt my knowledge of outside of U.S. baseball. But we will miss you because you're great and you do the best right up to the end of the week, and you're a blast to play with.
Thank you both for you. And by the way, for the record, this is a double sided interview with two guys that actually use a senior bat. So see who can actually beat that one, right?
Well, I don't use a senior bat
You're eligible,
because I'm eligible, but I don't use it because I don't want to get in my head. I like my old bat, and that's what I stay
And
with.
I don't use it because there's another bat that someone brought.
Yeah, I got to hit my I got to hit my 250 hitting behind Carlos over there.
All right. Thank you, guys.
So, have a great day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
You gotta love that interview, and also love the creativity to make it a retro interview going to black and white. I think it was very stylish, and thank you, Peluca, for helping that up. I think it's one of the coolest one that I have done, without any doubt. So, as you saw in the interview, the Yankees had the pleasure to play the Mets, or the Mets had the pleasure to play the Yankees in the Subway Series. Unfortunately for the Mets, this series is 0-3 in favor of the Yankees. They beat us in 2025, and they double dip us in 2026. So we have not been able to win a single game in the Subway Series. However, we still have the hope to face them some point in playoffs and win the Super Series of all. But that being said, they took home once again the New York City Cup trophy, as you saw in that picture. Me and Brian playing for that one. I'm smiling because that was before the games. And like I said, Yankees are ruling the Mets in this series. For the future editions, on whoever is going to be the new owners, I just hope that that person can break this unfortunate streak that the Mets has been against their city rivals. So as you know, we lost both games. One 8-5, the other one we were run rule 16-5. So nothing much to highlight other than a couple of guys that, interesting enough, we have the double-sided interview. We have two guys that ended up with the exact same stats after the game. That tells you why we couldn't win, because just only two guys were truly performing. Those was Garrett Granado, who went 4 for 5 with a couple of bombs, a double, and 4 RBIs. And the other one is my good friend Toto Hunkers, who also went 4 for 5 with a double, 2 home runs, and 4 RBIs. That was kind of it, the whole offense of the Mets. That's the reason why we couldn't win or muster any victories. But hey, water under the bridge. We'll continue to focus. We'll try to win a couple of games next week. But before going into that, I want to make sure that you're ready for your favorite section, the last dance. Today, I'm going to be remembering a pretty unique squad. See you in Mateos and Bruno's room. Mets, Rangers, Cowboys, and Venezuela. Mateos and Bruno's room. You know where I'm at. Your favorite section, the last dance, or at least my favorite section these days. Uh, Today, I think this jersey needs any introduction if you have been in the league for enough time. That was the only time that I had the opportunity to be an Iron Pick, coached by the best coach in this league, Ryan Alford, no longer playing with us. That was a extraordinary team. I know that I said the Orioles was the most talented one. This is a second close one. Um, I had the opportunity to play with two now former Lost and Found directors, Scott Lawrence and Tommy Apligian, on that team, along with the Hogans, which always brought a unique atmosphere to the team. So that team, like I said, complete solid squad. But when you have Ryan Alford, I mean, the whole team changes. It's dynamic in terms of the performance, right? Personally, that remains to be my best season in Shalom. The only season that I was able to hit 600, and I believe 14, 15 home runs. I mean, that was definitely a great season. But personally aside, that team was phenomenally assembled, and also the way that we performed the field. We got beaten by which ended up to be the champions on that season, the Goldstein Mock Ducks in the semi-finals. We were this close to go to the finals and play the Yard Goats, if I'm not mistaken. That was the final. Uh, Phenomenal team. We always were coming from behind on those playoff series, but we couldn't muster that comeback in that last season. A season that was interesting because it was COVID. So in that season, because of the field's availability, we ended up playing in three different complexes. Current one that we are in Allen, where the finals were played and some of the playoffs, but also we play in Plano and in Frisco. So it was a bit of a transition season. It is the only season since I joined the league that we only had spring. There was snowfall because we had to put on hold, and actually it was subject to completion the season made in April, May, and then we just retook it probably in July, I want to say. It was a season of all of us wearing masks. So I have a pretty nice picture over here that shows you one of my swings wearing a mask. And also, personally, it was the season in which I became a dad, right? That was the year that Mateo was born, 2020. That was the season in I didn't have a single family member going to watch my games, whether it was my wife before in 2019 and in the past, or moving forward when Mateo started joining us on my 2021 season. So quite a unique situation. A fun thing that I always remember was me just making sure that all my clothes that I was wearing after coming to the game, just put it in a box before even enter the house, just to make sure that my wife didn't got any potential contagious with carrying COVID because she was pregnant. Pregnant. So, what an interesting season for sure. Like I said, a lot of what I do as a captain came from the learnings that I did in that season and just watching Ryan Alford coaching the team and inspiring everyone, right? So there's nobody that can lift better a team than him. I will be forever grateful to be being drafted as a pick. And like he always said, once an Iron pick, always an Iron pick. Thank you, Ryan, for everything that you taught me and for making me follow your steps when it comes to coach a team. So with that, we're coming to an end. The Mets are gonna be going back into the interdivisional games next week and continue our journey to claim one of the top six spots. It's becoming tougher, definitely. We have to perform better, but we'll certain that we'll do. We have tons of talent to do it, and if I see you there, make sure that you swing by for a few seconds to see the Mets, because if you want to spend the time of your life, bring your kiddos with your wife, because the Mets are gonna guarantee you a fun time. If not, ask Brian Stroll. So long.